Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim. And that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Rachelzegler was on the verge of becoming Disney's next golden star, set to lead the studio's most iconic fairy tale into a new era. Yet, instead of basking in the spotlight, she seems to have vanished at the height of controversy. It's like she woke up one morning and decided to hit the mute button on her entire public persona. Was it a calculated move to dodge a corporate firestorm, or something far more perplexing? Nobody saw this coming, especially not from the actress chosen to embody the beloved first princess in Disney's cinematic legacy. While rumors have swirled that she might be escaping legal battles, outraged fans, or colossal studio backlash, the only thing everyone agrees on is this: Rachelzegler's fall from grace came faster than anyone could have anticipated. Not too long ago, Rachelzegler was on an unbreakable winning streak. She caught the world's eye with early roles that hinted at serious acting chops, then landed a star-making part in the Snowwhite remake. Disney rolled out the red carpet, confident she'd be the studio's next darling. Early buzz labeled her the fresh face who would capture hearts around the globe. In theory, it was a recipe for success. Imagine the legacy of the 1937 classic. Some say the film that launched the modern era of animated features, combined with a modern retelling featuring an up-and-coming powerhouse. The hype machine was unstoppable, and the numbers looked promising. But then, almost overnight, that shining star flickered, overshadowed by controversy so intense it blindsided even the savviest of industry insiders. The moment fans sensed disrespect for the original tale, the once adoring public began to ask questions. Did she care about Snow White's heritage at all? Why did she dismiss certain elements of the story as weird? And just how modern was this version going to be if she wanted to toss out half the charm that endeared the film to generations? The tension was brewing, but no one imagined how explosive it would become. Yet, even as the controversy grew, the real tipping point lay ahead, one that would involve more than just online debates and heated tweets. Because for Rachelzegler, the trouble was only just beginning. It started with a few throwaway remarks about how the original Snow White was old-fashioned, outdated, and borderline unsettling in its portrayal of romance. Some fans shrugged it off, chalking it up to a modern actress wanting a fresh take. But then came the interviews, on red carpets, in viral clips, in social media posts, where she took it a step further. Calling the prince a stalker was one thing. Portraying the entire concept of the classic film as bizarre or naive was another. Fans of the original, many of whom grew up cherishing Snow White's innocent charm, felt targeted, as though their nostalgia was being mocked. The internet was quick to take these sound bites and run with them, splicing together compilations of Zegler's remarks and fueling a spiraling narrative. She hates the character. She hates the story. She hates the fans. Suddenly, people who'd never paid attention to Disney drama were piling on, pointing fingers at an actress who seemed intent on demolishing the foundation of a beloved fairy tale. Memes popped up, calling her comments condescending. YouTube channels built entire mini-documentaries about her dismissive tone. Even casual Disney viewers started to think, is she too modern, or just too dismissive? But the real blow would come not just from the fans, but from the very studio that had placed its crown jewel in her hands. What Disney didn't see coming was the scale of the financial meltdown about to slam into their beloved brand. With a rumored production budget soaring past the $200 million mark, some insiders whisper it might be even higher, Snow White was supposed to be the next big tentpole for Disney. Analysts projected a colossal opening weekend. Merchandise lines were planned. Theme park tie-ins were supposedly in the works. It should have been a slam dunk. Instead, Disney found itself grappling with disappointing ticket sales. Early tracking indicated trouble, but nobody expected the drop-off to be so steep. Domestic numbers floundered and global markets showed little interest. Countries that once devoured Disney remakes treated this release like a second-tier curiosity. The internal panic reportedly reached a boiling point when top executives convened in a hush-hush emergency meeting, one that allegedly put Rachelzegler under a harsh spotlight. Why blame the star? Because her interviews and social media presence had become a lightning rod for criticism, overshadowing the film's release, whispers began circulating that her remarks might have triggered a significant portion of the boycotts. Some claimed Zgler may have breached clauses in her contract tied to positive promotion or, at the very least, good faith representation of the film's legacy. In the hush of Disney's boardrooms, the word restitution began sneaking into conversations, prompting rumors of possible legal action. But before anyone could get to the bottom of these whispers, Rachelzegler vanished in a move that sparked 1,000 new questions. One day, Zgler was tweeting about how she deserved compensation for every hour spent in a princess gown. The next, she reportedly boarded an international flight with no clear date of return. Some sources swear they saw her name on a manifest headed for Dubai. Others speculate she's off the grid entirely, possibly hiding out with close associates or even family. So why the sudden exit? Was it a strategic move to avoid potential legal documents from Disney's lawyers? Or was it simply a PR retreat to let the uproar die down? The abrupt nature of her departure has the industry swirling with theories. Some suggest she's trying to prevent further damage, hoping silence will douse the flames of internet outrage. Others wonder if she's truly in crisis mode, contending with personal stress and anxiety from the relentless onslaught of negative press. Meanwhile, Disney insiders claim that even they have no idea where she is, which only adds fuel to the speculation. Whether it's a simple vacation to find peace or a frantic scramble to dodge subpoenas, one thing is clear: she isn't sticking around for the aftermath in Hollywood. But a sudden flight out of Tinseltown didn't halt the commentators, critics, and fans who refused to let this story rest. While she slipped away, online sleuths started digging deeper, and they uncovered some unsettling glimpses into her final days on social media. Before Rachel's accounts went silent, social media had become a battlefield. Hashtags like "No Boycott Snowwhite" trended in endless waves, fed by video compilations splicing every problematic moment of her interviews into a single scathing reel. The negativity wasn't merely from die-hard traditionalists. It came from mainstream audiences, Marvel stans, musical theater aficionados, and even casual Disney fans who just found her attitude off-putting. Older tweets resurfaced, revealing politically charged remarks that alienated conservative viewers. Some criticized her for virtue signaling on topics like the patriarchy or women's rights, while simultaneously dismissing the fairy tale genre that had catapulted her to international fame. The outcry went beyond typical internet drama. Zgler's name turned into a flashpoint in cultural debates, her words dissected by everyone from entertainment bloggers to political pundits. She tried to apologize, at least that's what it looked like on her official accounts, but something in the language felt forced, corporate. To many, it read as if a PR team had typed the statement, then told her to post it. Rather than calming the storm, it poured gasoline on a fire that was already raging. Fans started whispering that Zgler had lost her autonomy, that Disney was now micromanaging her every move, right down to the punctuation of her public apologies. And while the internet raged, she grew quieter and quieter. By the time the rumor mill suggested a flight overseas, it was already too late. Every piece of new information drove the public deeper into speculation. Behind closed doors, the tension was palpable. Some insiders claimed Disney's top PR strategists were banging their heads against the wall. They'd invested millions in marketing a modern Snowwhite, and now their lead actress seemed to be the biggest liability. There were talks of halting certain promotional tie-ins, shelving ad campaigns, even rethinking entire marketing angles. Adding to the chaos was the rumor that Zgler's apology had been written by Disney's damage control team. The statement's sanitized language and overly polished tone fueled skepticism. The uproar only intensified, with fans calling it the least genuine apology in recent Disney history. Some saw it as confirmation that the studio was more concerned about brand optics than actually addressing fans' concerns over the tone and direction of the remake. Meanwhile, Rachelzegler's personal team was reportedly in disarray. One faction wanted her to come out swinging, defend her comments, stand by the updated Snowwhite vision, and position herself as a bold feminist voice. Another faction pleaded for a heartfelt personal statement, something raw that might heal the rift with longtime Disney loyalists. But by all accounts, the actress was in no emotional state to stand in front of cameras again. Rumors flew that she'd broken down in tears multiple times, realizing the scale of the backlash could overshadow her entire career. And with each new day, the divide between her and Disney grew wider. The studio, known for tight-lipped control, rarely comments directly on rumors or controversies. Yet the more they clamped down, the more suspicious the public became that they were plotting a major move, possibly even legal action. So what does the future hold for Rachelzegler? Could she bounce back after such a public drubbing? In Hollywood, redemption arcs happen all the time. Yet those arcs typically require a balancing act, an actress owning her mistakes, articulating a genuine apology, and forging a new path that resonates with fans. Right now, she's not making any moves, at least publicly. Even the most optimistic observers admit this controversy may leave a lasting stain. Producers who once clamored to cast her might be rethinking their next projects, wary of triggering more public outrage. Rumors suggest a few major studios have already taken her name off their shortlist for upcoming roles. After all, it's not just the controversy, it's the lingering perception that her presence could overshadow any film she touches. Some within her inner circle argue she needs a break, a year or two away from the industry to regroup, rebrand, and come back with a fresh perspective. Others fear that such an absence will solidify her as that actress from the disastrous Snowwhite remake for years to come. The stakes couldn't be higher. If the public doesn't move on, if Disney can't salvage the remains of this film's reputation, then Zgler risks becoming a cautionary tale in an industry that rarely offers second chances once you've alienated your base. The potential legal angle only complicates matters. If Disney truly is exploring restitution or invoking harsh contract clauses, a messy lawsuit could drag on for months or even years. That kind of drawn-out battle would keep the controversy alive indefinitely, turning each court date into fresh tabloids and talk show fodder. For a studio like Disney, which prides itself on a squeaky clean brand, dragging an actress through legal mud is a last resort. Yet if the internal losses are as steep as rumored, some believe all bets are off. In a span of months, Rachelzegler transformed from a promising star with the keys to Disney's kingdom into the face of a modern fairy tale gone off the rails. Opinions on who's at fault vary. Some lay blame at the feet of a massive corporation unwilling to own up to its creative missteps. Others insist Zgler's dismissive attitude toward a cherished classic was the final straw that turned legions of fans away. The question that remains is whether she's gone for good or just preparing the biggest comeback the industry has ever witnessed. Will she reappear with a new perspective, ready to make amends and embrace the legacy fans hold dear? Or is this story destined to end with a forgotten princess, overshadowed by the controversies she couldn't outrun? For now, the silence lingers. The only certainty is that people can't stop talking about her, even when she's nowhere to be found. Perhaps that's the ultimate irony in this saga. A star who once commanded interviews and headlines has gone quiet, leaving a vacuum of unanswered questions. Whatever happens next, it's safe to say this drama is far from over. All eyes are on Disney and their embattled leading lady, waiting to see which plot twist emerges next. Is this a simple PR nightmare or the start of an industry-wide reckoning? Only time will tell. And the clock is ticking, with the world eagerly watching the end of this once promising fairy tale. Thank you for joining this deep dive into one of Hollywood's most unexpected controversies. Where do you stand on Rachelzegler's sudden vanishing act? Is she a victim of circumstance, or did she ignite her own downfall? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to stay tuned for more uncoverings, revelations, and head-turning moments from the ever-spinning orbit of celebrity drama.